We're live. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Stories from the Dirt. Today, we're going to try to do this thing live. We have John and Jess here from the Overlander Project and creators of the Artemis Rally. Hey, guys, how are you today?
Hey there.
All right. Hopefully, we get some people logging on. Oh, we have 2 people. Woohoo! All right. So let's dive into the big picture first. What is the Overlander Project? And then how did the Artemis Rally come out of that?
So Overlander Project, it's an outdoor adventure company, and we have 8 or 9 events. We have little weekend expeditions. We have like a festival style event in the fall, which is called Adventure Summit. And then we have our Baja excursion, where we take a group from Phoenix area down the Baja Peninsula, almost to Cabo and back. And then we do, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
we have spring expeditions and fall expeditions. And then to answer your question about Artemis, it seems like always the guys get to do the fun stuff. So we wanted to create a platform, an event that women get to express themselves. It was entirely for them. So that's kind of how that was born.
Yeah. Apex Overland says, hey, Jess and John.
Hey, Jillian.
Hey, Jillian, how are you?
We got Lisa DeLuca logged on. She said she's excited to hear more about the Artemis Rally.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so you feel like the boys get to have all the fun and you want some girls to have some fun.
Yeah, typically the guys, they're more into motorsports than the women are, so they don't have that many opportunities. And then Artemis is all about the women.
Yeah, and that's pretty exciting. But the format, so it's not a stage rally, it's not really a rally raid, it's a very unique format. So let's talk about the format.
So the format, we wanted to make it a true adventure rally. So that's why it has all the different facets.
Yeah.
And all those different facets, a lot of the items, most women have done, but it's not something you do every weekend, like axe throwing. Maybe you go and do that a couple times a year. The archery, that's probably done, when they were in some kind of summer camp, but it's something that you wake up on a Saturday morning and go shoot archery. And then the skeet, the clay pigeons, that's something that most people don't do. I've never done that. Yeah. And then the firearms, using like the AR type firearm, the rifle, that often, scares people a little bit, but that's like a target shooting activity. And then the 9mm handguns, that's typically done at the same time as the AR rifles. And then the canoeing came up. I used to do these events called the Safari Triathlons back in the late 80s and 90s. And they were basically 3 different facets to that. It was canoeing, and then the navigation, using the 7.5-minute maps, that was all pre-GPS. And then, of course, the off-roading part. So I'm kind of attached to the canoes. I like the way they look on the roof. Yeah, everybody seems to dislike them, but
it's a billboard.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's fun.
Yeah,
it's the perfect opportunity for the sponsors decals.
Yeah,
the entire vehicle gets muddy and you can't read anything. You can always read those decals.
Yeah.
That and you all, if you see photos from someone, that online where they're off-roading, they typically all look the same. But if you see the canoes, which has become the trademark for Artemis Rally, it kind of lends itself to that.
Yeah.
And then what else do we have? We always have, it's not the same every year. Like the first year we did an alpine coaster, which was a little roller coaster that meandered through the woods.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
That was
for real. And last year we did whitewater rafting, but there's opportunities to ride mountain bikes, like rentals or rock climbing, like human powered rock climbing,
zip lining.
zip lining.
Those are all things we're toying with. So
Right.
Yeah. And the last time we interviewed last year, and my husband helped, and he suggested the Rubik's Cube challenge. Have you put any more thought into that?
I have not thought about that since he mentioned it, but that needs to be on our list. That's an excellent idea.
We have added some tasks, some challenges this year that are kind of outside the box. More
Okay.
Team building challenges, to bring the different two lady teams together as a group so that they can accumulate points that way. So we're excited about those.
Yeah. Spartan Overland, they just commented, the canoes have grown on me. I kind of love them now. LOL.
You're such a sport. I love it.
Apex, go ahead.
I was going to say the canoes are a tough one. You need a certain length, like a conventional canoe usually falls around 16 feet. And with that length, comes a little bit of heft. They're all typically weighing in north of 50 pounds. And then with females, typically being shorter than males and then competing in some type of vehicle that's lifted or has oversized tires, it gets that canoe height further away from the ground. So that's the challenge with those.
Yeah. So Kara McClellan has submitted a question here. She wants to know, and it's related to the canoe thing for sure. What level of fitness do you suggest for someone who is wanting to win, asking for a friend?
Yeah. I don't think you have to be tremendously fit to do Artemis.
No.
Obviously, I don't think anyone's ever really as fit as they want to be or they think they should be.
I think a healthy amount of determination and just a skill set, like you said, of determination and wanting to win. And what's the word? Being able to strategize. I think that those things are definitely top on the list, not so much the physical attributes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for example, like in 2024, both Jillian and Daisy opted not to take a 1 mile hike. It was an out and back, 1 mile up, 1 mile down, which was a tremendous amount of points. But they opted out of that and then went and got different. So that was to their advantage to do that. So I don't think it was a question of fitness on their part.
Right.
It was just something they just didn't feel like they could afford the time to go do that.
Yeah. Let's see. Alana Trejo says a Lego challenge. She's down for a Lego challenge.
Like big Legos or little Legos? Just have to know.
It's got to be little.
The big ones.
I like the big ones, but they take hours and hours.
Could get one of those architect series. I think they make a little Land Rover 110 or something like that.
They definitely do.
Have it in blue with the badging on it.
Yeah.
There you go. Apex Overland says, once you find your rhythm with the canoe, it's not so bad, but it definitely takes teamwork. Jessica says, the canoeing portion sounds thrilling. She loved canoeing 7 days on the Missouri River in 2020.
Wow.
Nice.
Kara's in for the Legos. She likes the Legos.
Okay, we'll have to consider the Legos.
What do we have here? Spartan Overland has a message to Kara. She says, stamina is key. Regular cardio never hurt anyone, right? And if you're short like me, some arm strength will help that tiptoe canoe lift onto your rig.
Jillian and Daisy, they load and unload the canoe exactly the same way every time. They've practiced that. They've talked about it, and that's the way they do it. And it's
And I'm sure, ladies, there's video of them loading and unloading that canoe in some of the stuff on YouTube. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's strategic for sure. And Daisy and Jill are the undefeated winners. So it's third in annual running, correct? And they've won the first 2 times. But I heard from them they are not coming this year. So there's opportunity for a brand new winner.
they're going to step aside and let someone else have a chance. Thanks, lady.
Exactly. Kara wants to know, are there vehicle requirements?
There's not. We have a Subaru Outback competing this year. Yeah, you could do it. I mean, you need all-wheel drive or some type of four-wheel drive system. I wouldn't attempt it, in a two-wheel drive. But you don't really need something that's lifted.
Yeah.
Obviously something with larger tires would be an advantage on the off-road portions, but not required.
And last year, we had a lady who competed in a BMW X5, not lifted, very stock. She actually wasn't planning to use it, but had to. And she
It was a daily driver, and the tires were basically bald.
Yeah,
she did well.
She was supposed to get new tires on Monday.
Now, we're talking to a very competitive group of women, and you said you wouldn't try it in a two-wheel drive, but you didn't say it's prohibitive.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's not required.
Okay. That's a throwdown, ladies. That's a throwdown. Jess wanted to know how many teams competed last year.
We had 7 last year.
7. Okay. So it's growing.
Yeah, we have 10 signed up so far this year.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think I have at least one team to send your way that hasn't signed up yet.
We would love that.
The Recchio family says, I see there are only 2 mandatory challenges, but is there a required number of the optional ones to be completed? Ooh, good question.
That's a good question.
It's all about the points and how you choose to acquire those and what you feel comfortable doing. For 2024, we had a team that never once took their canoe off the roof, but the opportunities were given to gather those points, and they were points heavy. So opting not to do the canoeing portion probably cost them a lot of points. So it's all about the strategy and go do what you're good at. And then there's certain situations like, at the beginning of the rally for the past 2 years, we've done the firearms portion, and, all the teams went there together and they all did the shooting together. So no one opted out of that, even though there were some teams that were a little bit hesitant or maybe afraid of the firearms, we have range officials, and they made it super comfortable for the teams that were uncomfortable.
And let me say for just a minute, some of the ladies that come and compete, they are not coming to win. They are coming to have an experience. So we welcome ladies who are just looking to have an experience, that aren't coming to be competitive. They might end up placing, which is great, but we want ladies who also are looking to have an experience. So you don't have to come in and, have this thought process of I have to win or I have to place. So.
Yeah. And so at these, we'll call them scarier challenges, like you're not on your own. You have professionals there. They're going to walk you through, let's say you're not a shooter. They're going to walk you through the handgun and the rifle. They're going to make sure that you understand the safety of it and the general operation before they're just like, here you go.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And you get like for the whitewater rafting, I'm sure you have like a person that goes with you.
Yeah, certified guides.
Yeah.
There was a certified guide in each raft, with
Yeah.
And everyone's fully geared, helmets,
PFDs, all that.
All the water gear that they were supposed to have. So
yeah. So while there are challenges that are outside of everybody's comfort zone, I'm imagining not everybody is comfortable with all of those, just a random portion of them. Like you're always going to be safe and looked after. So like that is really cool, I think.
Yes, safety is a #1 priority. And food.
Yeah.
We'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Food.
And that's our commitment to Artemis, to the teams, is that we take care of them, with the food and our support crew, setting up the bivouacs each night, erecting their tents for them. They've already had a strenuous day, both mentally and physically, just getting through the day. So when they roll into bivouac, it's kind of like we have our arms open, come on in, ladies, we got you.
Yeah. That's nice. Spartan Overland would like to add to your vehicle requirements. She said it's 4 tires and a gas pedal, girl. Go get it.
There you
Jess wants to know, where is the rally located?
It starts in Hickory, North Carolina. And for the past 2 years, we've primarily focused on Western North Carolina, which is around the Asheville area. We did get some damage, back during Helene, the Hurricane Helene. So
Yeah.
for 2025, it's going to be more towards the high country, a higher elevation, more in the Boone, Blowing Rock, Banner Elk area.
Okay.
They didn't get hit as hard in those areas that I just spoke of.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering about that. That was on my list of questions to ask, how that impacted you.
Yeah, and Jess and I'll, in the next few weekends, we'll be doing the actual pre-running. We actually like to go out and stand, at the waypoints. We just don't drop them from a laptop. We like to stand there and gather them so that we've been there. For 2024, we pre-ran that whole course in my Tundra with 35s, so it doesn't take a really huge rig to do Artemis.
Nice. Kara says, dang, lifting a canoe on 38s and lifted. So
But there is a way to do it. So
there you go. Got to steady up. Dave, this is my father for everybody watching. He said he would love the clays. We go clay shooting sometimes when we're in the same town. So let's see. Spartan Overland. Also, the community that instantly develops helps in those scary challenges, quote, scary challenges. We are all in it together and help guide each other throughout. Oh, so nice.
Yeah. Do you want to see Wednesday where they're going to get to meet?
Oh, yeah. We added something for this year for 2025. We're doing like a meet and greet pre-party here in Hickory.
Okay.
At one of the old warehouses, built in the early 1900s. We're going to do like an art show. We're going to have different mixed medias from photographs from the past 2 years, like on aluminum, sublimation, all that. So we're going to have an art show, live music, and then, we'll have some drinks on hand. And then that'll give the ladies an opportunity, for the ones that can make it, to kind of get to know each other before that starting line on Thursday morning.
There's just so much going on at the starting line. You don't really get an opportunity to meet your competitors, who will end up being great friends in the end. So we just thought it would be really nice.
Kara wants to know, what's the weather like during the rally? She said if it's 14 out in kayaking, she might be out.
No, it's perfect. It's like the best time. That's one of the reasons that we schedule Artemis on the dates that we do, is that you have, low 70s to mid 70s during the day. Historically, it's just straight sunshine, no rain, because it's not late enough in the season. And then high 50s at night. So you have good sleeping, and then moderate temperatures in the day. The water temperature is still a little cold, but you're not really swimming. You're just in a canoe.
Yeah. My dad wants to know, do you have shotgun instruction?
We do.
Yes.
We have a range official there. And what we use is a 12 gauge pump, and we use a low brass birdshot so that it kicks as little as possible. When you pull it up to your shoulder and pull the trigger, it's not like a truck hitting you. It's just a little push.
That's my least favorite kind of firearm.
Yeah.
Jess says she's familiar with the area, so if she comes out to compete, she might have a leg up.
All right.
Alana wants to know, what can we do to prep or practice?
Go to an axe throwing range. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Do that. If you can shoot some clay somewhere, if you can get a hold of a canoe that's around the pounds that he just spec'd for you, I'd try that. Put it on the top of your vehicle, you and your partner.
Yeah.
Definitely work through those things.
Yeah, I think if, everybody's short on time because everybody has a normal daily life, but, I would say practice the navigation, pick a GPS, or an app, whether it's Onyx Off-Road or Gaia, or grab a Garmin, whichever one you choose. Just familiarize yourself with that, know that inside and out, because navigation is a huge part of Artemis, that and time management. And then like Jess mentioned, a canoe, The key to a canoe is to always walk down the center, down the center beam of the canoe to keep your balance. So maybe do that a couple times, and if you've got a partner that doesn't live in the area, getting a canoe out there by yourself, launch it from the shore and walk from the back to the front, so you don't feel so wobbly or unstable.
Yeah.
And going back to navigation, it is really important that you choose your navigation platform before the morning of.
Right.
Artemis. That's I think one team did that, and they did great with that, but they were having to learn some things last minute. So.
Okay, so explain how the navigation platform comes into play. In the morning, what happens?
We distribute what we call scrolls. It's like a large paper spreadsheet, and then it'll have a list of the day's challenges. And the majority of those will be longitude and latitude, which will be your waypoints.
Okay.
It'll also have your special task listed, and then it'll have the points value. And then you need to take those from the paper and plug them in or enter those into your navigation app. And you let those populate, and then you can kind of see, it's kind of like connecting the dots at that point.
Okay.
Like, lots of times we'll hand out the scrolls, the teams will jump in their vehicles and take off. And I'm like, where are you going? You have no idea where you're going.
Yeah.
So you need to know where you're going before you leave. If that takes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, however long it takes, you get a game plan with which waypoints you want to try to do.
And does it create like a route that brings you back to base camp, or like straight from one base camp to the next? Or bivouac, sorry, you call it bivouacs.
Bivouacs. It's not necessarily like that. They're usually spread out. Once they populate, you can kind of see, what the proximity is to where you're there at the bivouac. And then it'll also have the bivouac for that night. So you need, that would be your number one goal, is where everything is in reference to that final bivouac.
And that's really important, because if you are not back at the bivouac at the designated time, even if you're 1 minute late, you will get points deducted. So everything that you decide that day needs to center around making sure that you are completely at bivouac on time.
Right.
Okay, so I get a scroll, it has lat longitude, I put that in, and each one of those points is tied into a challenge, which is worth a certain number of points, right? Okay.
Correct.
And now Lisa wants to know, how are the points verified?
So most of them are photographic proof, like a selfie with a landmark, something like that, and or time stamped. So teams have in the past, pre-Starlink, they would go gather their waypoints, have them on their device, and then when they got to some type of connection, cell service, or sit outside a coffee shop, then they'd start uploading their waypoints at that time. But each waypoint has a specific hashtag, and all the waypoints have your specific team hashtag. So that's your folder, and then all the specific hashtags go in that folder, which is your hashtag of your team. So then,
and that's all posted to social media, Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, correct.
Not Facebook. We don't use Facebook.
But it won't work on Facebook. It only works on Instagram. And then, like last year, we had a remote company that was doing the score in Raleigh. They can see it no matter where they are. They have the scrolls, and then they go and check it and view the image matched with our master photos. And if it's in the vicinity, it's never going to be exactly the same. But you can tell if they were there or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's see. Let's run through some comments here. Jessica says, early June in North Carolina is perfect. Kara still says, we hope we aren't swimming. Kara had to leave us. She said she'll see you in June.
All right.
Bye, Kara.
My dad would like to know, do you recommend mud tires?
We like mud terrains here, but you definitely don't need them.
Have to have them. No.
Okay. Kara says, thankfully, her husband teaches Gaia. That's true. Her husband, Matt, he knows all the ins and outs.
Perfect.
Jessica's a fan of Gaia. Let's see. Apex Overland says, you choose your own route. You don't have to do them in order. And Spartan is saying, I don't believe which navigation format you choose matters so much. What matters is you fully understand how to operate and use the format. Know all the ins and outs, tricks, and service requirements. So, and that's Spartan Overland is Daisy, one of the reigning winners. So, for anybody that doesn't know.
We see you, Daisy.
I wanted to give a rundown here of your optional challenges list, because I know we've covered quite a number of them, but just to let everybody know what you have on here. And it says possibly more. So canoeing, sporting clays, no personal shotguns allowed, archery, axe throwing, whitewater rafting, class 3 to 4, zip lining, mountain biking, rock climbing, hiking, paddleboarding, stand-up, swimming, winching challenges, Pro Eagle Jack challenge, traction board challenge, pole pal challenge, surprise challenges. I'm voting for the Rubik's Cube and more. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And you leave room for more.
And the swimming is really if you flip your canoe over. That's
right.
That's really nice.
Swimming is by default of error.
Exactly.
And we won't have an opportunity for all of those challenges for 2025. There's only so much time, but you potentially could have any of those. It's just
right.
Which ones we choose to do. Right.
Yeah, that's the unknown. I like that. Jessica wants to know what prizes or rewards do the winners get besides bragging rights?
Not much. We've leaned on sponsors in the past. BF Goodrich has offered up a certificate for tires in the past, and they actually offered one again for this year. So we have that, and we have some other items. It's hard to tell. A lot of those items come in at the last minute, but mostly bragging rights.
And a cool trophy, right?
Yes.
Yes, they're laser cut from one of our off-road manufacturers located here in Denver, North Carolina. So they've built them for the last 2 years. They're pretty substantial. They're cool.
They are very cool.
And then for those not fully aware, you give prizes every morning, correct?
Yeah, little gifts.
Little gifts.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that are applicable to the rally itself, but who doesn't like a gift in the
Women
morning?
like waking up and getting gifts.
Yeah. 1 year we gave like a tumbler laser etched or something. And then we have a friend that I went to high school with. He makes socks for the military. So he made a batch for the ladies. And, I don't know if you've ever had wet feet, but there's nothing better than a fresh pair of socks,
I've had wet feet, sadly.
Yeah. Little things that'll help them. We also have a manufacturer that's been around 100 years here in Hickory that makes paracord. It's made right here in town. So we gave a thing of that to each of the teams. What else?
I think they got a notebook one year that had.
Yeah, a little journal, like a leather-bound journal.
Mm-hmm.
And t-shirts? Do you get a different t-shirt for every day, or is it the same t-shirt the whole time?
You will get a different t-shirt for every day, and that's given to you at the start line. So
yeah, that's part of the entry fee. We give you 4 shirts, and they're like that performance, the super dry type material that works well here. And then you get your vest, which is part of your uniform, and then the helmets. In most of the challenges, we want you to wear the helmets, and that's basically our liability insurance chiming in about all of that.
And not only
go ahead.
You just need to make sure in your challenges, if it says vest and helmet, or if it alludes to something like that, just make sure you have it on, because that's part of what we're looking for when we look at your posts and send it to the scoring company.
Yeah.
And to be clear, it's not like a car or a motorcycle helmet. It's just a bump helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a skateboarder's helmet or something like that.
Yeah, lightweight, vented.
Yeah.
Not too big of a deal.
Yeah. And the vests are lightweight too. They are another layer, but there's we could find.
Yeah, Alana wanted to know, she wanted to verify, is it a fleece vest? Because we have issues with fleece vests.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is terrible, yes.
The
Alana
shirts
also
very much-
wanted to know, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jess.
I was just gonna say the shirts are very much like the women's Under Armour shirts that are just kind of silky. That's exactly how they feel.
Okay, so your goal is to keep us cool and comfortable.
Cool and
Correct.
comfortable. Yes.
We appreciate that.
And we've added for 2025, we have a hydration guy that's going to have little hydration stations everywhere so that
Nice.
the ladies can come through and grab, how many ever bottles of water or fill up their water bottles. And with that, we're going to have like protein bars, stuff like that, so they can grab those on the go.
So what I hear you saying is we're just princesses out to adventure because you're feeding us, you're now giving us water and snacks throughout the day, and when we come back, our tent is set up and our dinner is ready.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is amazing. We covered it briefly at the beginning, but Alana wanted to know what inspired you to start the rally. So you just maybe give us another little rundown on that.
Yeah, like we said earlier, I feel like the guys always get to have the fun. It's always about the guys, and we wanted to create a platform and an event that was specifically for the ladies to let them go and do their thing without the guys, in the background. So that's what we came up with for Artemis, and the truth is, you can get a bunch of guys doing something cool and somebody's filming it or whatever, and nobody really cares. But if you get a group of women doing something cool like Artemis, then everybody's watching, both men and women. So
Women are just
There
cool.
you go.
women are cool.
Yeah, women are cool.
We are. I'm just gonna from the website. So the personal gear that you need to bring, a lighter or mattress, or sorry, matches, sleeping bag or blanket, pillow, sleeping pad, toiletries, towel, small camp chair, headlamp, pocket knife or multi-tool, gloves for winching. I mean, that sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, it's basically you would pack like for a long weekend of camping.
Yeah, without your tent or food because somebody else is doing that for you.
Right.
In the mornings, here in North Carolina, there's always dew on the grass. So
Moisture.
yes, I really like having a pair of waterproof boots for in the morning, and then usually by lunchtime I'm getting those and might be in some sandals, Chacos or something. John will always be in Chacos, FYI. But just keep that in mind because nobody likes walking around on grass that has been cut and it's stuck all to your feet and it's getting in your vehicle. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so no closed-toed shoes are required.
They're recommended. Like most of the teams
Okay.
wear like a lightweight hiker,
Mhm.
and we suggest, I think it's in the gear list, you bring some type of water shoe,
Mhm.
like when you're jumping in the canoe, like you need to do that as you go down off the shore, so you don't step on a broken bottle or something.
Yeah. Okay, and so here your entry includes per person 4 rally t-shirts, 1 rally helmet, 1 rally vest, 8 meals to include 4 breakfasts and 4 dinners, which are noted to be excellent food.
Mhm.
The canoe straps, daily informative driver's meeting. You supply brew meat, 4-season tents, and set up and tear down daily for each team. So each team shares a tent.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Oh yeah, it says right there. Sorry. We provide the tent, 2 people per tent. I just didn't read far enough down. That's exciting. And the dates this year, the official dates of competition are June 5th through 8th. But on the 4th, you have a
Like a pre-party.
Party.
Pre-party.
For the ladies that are in town,
Yeah.
if they're making any kind of trip, they're more than likely going to be here on the night of the 4th.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also, Avis, on that list of stuff that's provided with your entry fee, that gives you lodging at the resort, on Sunday night, the final night, and
Okay.
that'll be where we have our awards ceremony. Yeah, awards dinner and ceremony. So for the past 2 years, those have been pretty nice. And they'll be nice again this year.
Okay, nice. So we finish, we clean up, we get a party, and then we get lodging.
Yep. And then we also have a social hour. So we bring the teams in early enough, 2:00-ish on Sunday afternoon. That gives them the opportunity to get cleaned up and unwind a little bit. And then we have a social hour before dinner starts. And then we'll go through dinner and then we'll go straight into the awards ceremony.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Jessica is once again expressing joy that you set up and tear down our tents for us.
Right? And they're all the same. All the tents are the same.
Yeah. She also says it sounds amazing, and she wishes she knew about it before she moved from North Carolina to California.
Who's that?
Jess Heeg. She's
Okay.
one of our loyal listeners here on the podcast. All right, let's see. What else can we tell them? Oh, the cost this year. I think you did an amazing job making it affordable.
Yeah, it's almost free this year.
It feels like that, yeah.
Yeah, we're at $29.95, so $3,000, and I think there's some coupons floating around there. Maybe Avis has some that would make it $2,500.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a code here, a discount code here on the Stories from the Dirt podcast. So I'll put that up in the description, but it's Artemis Avis 15, and that saves you $500, which is 15%. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Nice.
And it's a lot. There's a lot of value in there. That's a lot of fun for that amount of money, compared to some of the other events out there, that are a whole lot expensive.
For sure. Lisa wants to know, do you have rental vehicles available or information on where somebody might rent one?
We don't, but we have almost daily, not every day, but we have people always looking for partners.
Okay.
So if you're on the fence or interested or don't have all the ingredients to put a team together, reach out to us and maybe we can match you up with someone.
Okay. And we would reach out to you on Instagram?
Yeah, any of our socials, or you can hop on artemisrally.com. We have all the emails. And my phone number's on there, so you can text or call. I always have my phone with me. So shoot us a message. We'll get back to you.
And for those who on the West Coast, like the lady that's in California now, if we have someone who has a vehicle and is looking for a partner, you just hop on a plane and come.
Yeah.
Right.
All of that will be essentially, I guess, provided.
And we have, in the past, we've had teams ship their vehicles, on some type of transport. We have a facility where, they can unload and we can keep them safe until the day of. And then we can also store those vehicles until the transport picks them back up or whatever.
Okay.
Anything that we can do to help you ladies, make it happen for you, we're here.
Yeah, because that's a huge hurdle in shipping is somebody to receive it and then again somebody to ship it, put it back on transport.
Right. And my daily business, I ship vehicles pretty often, so we can receive those, help the shipper, whatever needs to be done. We got you.
Okay, nice. Jess is lamenting she can only do one rally at a time, but it's definitely on her radar now. She's just now learning about it.
Yeah, tell her to ask Siri to remind her
Yes.
at Christmas for Artemis 2026.
There, you heard it here, Jess. Put it on your list right now. It's several people commenting here that it's an awesome price. Lisa's saying it is hard to make it work from the West Coast, but it sounds like so much fun. Jess put it on her. She went ahead and updated her Christmas list. So there you go.
And who knows, there may end up being an Artemis on the West Coast.
I wasn't sure if he was going to say that or not.
Right.
I wanted to ask the question, but I wasn't sure either.
We've toyed around with it.
Yeah, we've talked about taking it down to Baja, have an Artemis rally in Baja, which would be epic.
Might I suggest Southern Utah?
Yeah, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah,
I've got the lay of the land here. I can really help.
And we might would need that. Yes.
That'd be pretty epic
That would.
out there, like St.
Yeah.
George, that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the BLM land out here is insane.
Yeah, we are jealous of that here on the East Coast.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Jess says she can be a West Coast contact as well.
Thank you.
Alana's saying West Coast would be epic. You got a lot of West Coast support here in this
Right.
this small little group. So maybe we have more to talk about.
Maybe so.
Yeah, maybe we have an Artemis Rally East and an Artemis Rally West.
There you go. Spartan Overland says, Jilly and I became partners because I posted looking for a partner on my social media. You never know who is interested until you ask. That is true.
Those two are actually sisters. They were born. They just don't realize it yet. They're epic team members.
I mean, I just did an interview with them, and then the number of things that they've done together is, like you said, it's pretty epic. They are definitely a dynamic duo.
I mean, the fact that they can switch vehicles and drive or navigate either one in whichever vehicle, you know, that says a lot. A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited to see what happens for them this year. Lisa wants to know, do you have a newsletter for updates and new events?
We
Really
don't.
Really more social media right now.
Yeah, most of that stuff we try to put on our Overlander. It's the Overlander Project on Facebook.
Okay.
And then we try to keep up on Instagram as well. We have the Overlander Project on Instagram, and then the Artemis Rally really just started trying to give it some attention. So for the time being, the Overlander Project's where most of the updates are, and that covers all the events.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, Jess supports that question. She said that was a good question. All right. Wow, I think we covered most everything I had on my list. We had some good questions. Is there anything else we need to go over or anything you want to say?
I don't think so. I think, you know, ladies, if you're listening or you're watching this after the podcast, you know, if you're on the fence, you know, if there's anything that we can do to help you get here, you know, we're all ears.
We're happy to schedule a call for your personal questions, whatever you.
Yeah, anything that we can do to make it easier for you ladies, we'll do what we can. We'd love to have you. You know, Artemis is right on the cusp of exploding, so I don't know that we can keep the price as low as we did this year. But, you know, if you want to do it, just reach out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Spartan says, oh, thank you guys. You gave us space to discover what we maybe didn't know we had in us. Girls, if you're considering it, just do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Daisy.
Thank you.
Jessica sends some hearts for you guys. Yeah, I obviously haven't been able to get out to do the Artemis. I just learned about it last year. It was on my list for this year, but I just can't make the dates work. But I'm so excited for it. It's just an awesome event, an awesome opportunity to really broaden horizons and try things that, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not going to get in the water, but for this, maybe, you know? It's like just broaden your horizons and be able to do it with the safety of like a guide and competing at the same time. So, and like you said, it's choose your own adventure, which also adds fun to it, I think.
Right.
Yeah. It's always, you know, it each night in the bivouac, you always have the ladies reminiscing about their day's experiences. You know, it's always smiles. They've always had a blast. So that's always nice to see.
Oh, how long is a day? Like from bivouac to bivouac?
It's usually like 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, like a work day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not, you know, getting you out of your tent at 6 a.m. So I'm not saying that won't happen in the future, but
For now,
no.
Nice. Nice.
And we got really good coffee coming for this year. So
Oh, good.
Ladies complained that they needed some coffee, so we're going to have some really good
It's
Java.
a legitimate complaint.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
upset.
Are you telling me you didn't have coffee before this year?
We had, we were trying to make it out of like a little jet boil French press the first year,
Oh.
which was ridiculous. And then I think we had
I don't even remember what we had last year.
canned coffee, like black was it
It's
Black Rifle?
the little espresso.
Yeah, which had too much
Mm.
sweetener in it. So we're going to have like real coffee this year.
Okay. It's good that I didn't know that beforehand because I wouldn't have been able to put it on my list if it didn't
You'd
have
have
the
hung up on
coffee.
us, wouldn't you?
I really would have. I mean, coffee is,
It's important.
it is important.
It's
For
important.
sure.
Nice. Lisa says it's been on her list since year 1. Not sure if she can make it this year, but hopefully next.
Oh, we'd love to see you.
We're coming after Alana. She's out there in the
Yeah. She's
Periphery,
floating around
yeah.
out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been talking to her. There's some serious interest there.
Right.
So she asked some good questions tonight too.
Yeah.
She's definitely interested.
And heck yeah, if you've got more, any of you, don't hesitate to call or text. We're always, we eat, sleep, and breathe Artemis Rally. So
Especially
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Alana says she's working on it. So no question, you have lots of West Coast support, but knowing that we can, if we don't want to bring a vehicle out, that you might have somebody with a vehicle that we could hook up with is huge.
Yes.
So all right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
thank you, Ava.
Always a pleasure. Yeah. My
Thanks
dad
to
said
all
I did a
you
good job.
ladies for joining us. Thank you.
It's nice to see you all.
Yeah, I just want to point that out. My dad said I did a good job.
Oh,
In the comments.
Thanks, Dad.
Right? All right, guys. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.